The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Colin Quinn, I had to move to Texas to get you on this podcast. I tried forever to get you in LA. You said no chance.
Not true.
Oh, okay.
Of course, he's
Every
lying.
time we
Made
see
that
each other, we just, I was always like, I'll get out there one of those days. I'm glad I waited this long. It's kind of, I can savor, I can appreciate it.
I'm savoring it right now.
If I was on one of the first podcasts, I'd be like, yeah, I was on Joe's and I was on this one. This is like, you're getting the respect you deserve now.
I see. What is it like in the lockdown?
See, Joe Rogan is already awkward. Started out with a lie. What a weirdo. He thought he could pull Colin Quinn into his lie. Colin won't do that, man.
For you, you still living in New York?
Yeah, I live in New York.
Is it weird?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I was telling everybody, it's. It's very. It's not like people are like, oh, it's like New York in the '70s. No, the '70s was a whole different vibe, but now it's all boarded up stores. The store on my corner, like the corner bodega, basically just closed, and it was it was around for a long time, and. It's depressing. Like, you're on the subway, there's only a few people on, and it still smells. It smells as bad. They've been cleaning it every day, and it still stinks. It doesn't even smell better. That's how ingrained it is. And, the pigeons are homeless because Antifa took down all the statues, so they have no place to live. And, it's a very weird place.
You can't say, like, people that say it's like the 70s. Like, no, the 70s, it was the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. It was like, it didn't change much. It was seedy and weird, but it was always like that. This is a drastic change from 6 months ago. You can't say it's like the 70s because it's not. It's like something's deteriorated. There's a collapse.
Right.
And then there's all this weirdness that comes along with that.
Well, the 70s was kind of a collapse, but it was a different type. So, like, in the 70s, all the stores at night would be locked up, but they were open during the day. So at night, if anybody was out after 9 at night, that was on them. But it was not like now. It's just you're walking down deserted streets. There's nobody out. You know what I mean?
Have you always lived in New York?
Depressing. Yeah.
Oh.
So
Joe is already bored with Colin's story, man. That's fucked up.
Was sketchy in the 70s.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I did a whole show about it basically, but I mean, it was basically like in part one of the jokes for my own New York story was that, and it wasn't a joke. It was if you walk down your block because there's no cell phone, so if you walk down the block from the train after 9 at night, people would lean out the window and be like genuinely surprised, like, good for you, you made it home. If you stayed out after 9, like Times Square, people would go to Broadway shows. By 11 o'clock, it was deserted, except for criminals, because people would leave a Broadway show. They wouldn't go out for a drink or dinner. They would get in their car and get out immediately.
And Giuliani's the one who cleaned all that shit up.
Giuliani cleaned it up, yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
That guy gets no respect now.
No, I know. He went a little crazy, but he really, he did what no politician has ever done in history, which is he said, I'm going to transform this, and he did.
He turned it around.
Yeah.
He really did.
He really did.
Maybe a little too far. Like at a certain
It may
point,
have been a little too far.
Times
but
Square became like a mall.
Yes, Times Square is very uninspiring.
It became like a big Applebee's.
But that's exactly what it's like. And even though, like, now I look back and I'm like, oh, Taxi Driver, New York, it was edgy, it was fun. But at the time, it was no joke. People, I glamorize.
Listen, I'm watching this only because I think Colin is so much emotionally smarter than Joe. This has to be like inspiring to watch, man. Seeing Joe trying to keep up.
I said through rose-colored glasses, but it was serious.
Yeah, that's the thing about crime in crime-ridden areas. Like, people always glamorize it after the fact, but if you're living there while it's going down, it's fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah. I mean, most people loved New York once he took over. In the 90s, people forget that.
Yeah.
That everybody was just like, oh, I can go out at night. Oh, I can work. I can, you know what I mean? Before that, it was crazy. And I used to bartend around Times Square, and I mean, the stuff you saw, was just brutal. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the things we're finding out from this lockdown is that it really is important who your mayor is. It
Yes.
used to be important. You didn't really care. People didn't care who the mayor of LA was. Half the people didn't even know.
That's right.
And now they're like, who is this motherfucker that's keeping everything closed?
Yeah.
And the same thing with New York, right?
Oh yeah, well,
de
de
Blasio.
Blasio from day one. A lot of people are like, ugh, and now everybody hates him. You know?
But this is his second term.
Yes.
He got reelected.
Oh, he swept both.
This has a little bit of, I don't know, man, a date vibe. You know what I mean? I guess they're old friends or something. Happy to see each other. I don't know. Maybe it's Joe Rogan status, man. Colin Quinn is forced to audition on the new Johnny Carson. Trying to get that wave over. It's that wave basically, but he has to perform now. He's sitting on the couch next to Johnny, and it's time to shine.
Elections.
That's hilarious.
And
now we're finding out.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a dipshit.
Yeah.
It took something where it was a crisis where you realize, like, this is not a leader.
And everybody hated Bloomberg for running a third term. They wish they had him for a fifth now.
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, oh, he's forced himself to run for a third. Now, but he misses, a guy like him.
Could he go back? Could he run again? Because he can't be president.
This is the fucking worst, bro. Hey, if you ever listen to fucking Colin Quinn on Opie and Anthony, the difference to this type of show, like I've watched Colin Quinn appearances on different shows. I believe he was on Kurt Metzger's show, different type of shit. Even like on, you know what, dude, it's not the same anymore. Maybe it's the Zoom shit, but this is weird too. Like, where are they? Are they really in Texas? Is this like a green screen studio? You know what I mean? Why is it so awkward? Nah, I think it's Joe Rogan and his leash. If he wasn't so on the leash, maybe he could be comfortable with Colin Quinn sitting in front of him. Colin, man, he's the best, like in a free-flowing conversation, you know what I mean? Bunch of dudes, preferably, so he can gang up on one dude maybe. That's the Colin Quinn I like. Antagonistic, you know what I mean? That's everything Joe doesn't like, man. Joe wants to have, I don't know what he wants. Like, he wants to pretend there's something else. Joe is the weirdest dude, man. I told you, Joe is a comedian amongst fighters and a fighter amongst comedians. He's never comfortable. He's an actor.
For president.
But I don't know. He was so terrible in the debate. It's so funny because the thing about Bloomberg that disappointed me as president was when he was mayor. When he first got elected mayor, I was Daryl Hammond had to bail on some show he was supposed to do. So at the last minute, they asked me to do a favor, do a guest shot at the show, which I go up. Really didn't go that well, but it was, I did what he was asked me to do.
What kind of show? What was it?
A stand-up show.
But it was a stand-up show for Bloomberg?
Yeah, Bloomberg was trying to get the Olympics here or something. I think it was the Olympics. So he asked me to, Daryl was supposed to do a show and he had something else. So I ran over. I lived in Midtown. I literally ran over, did the show in front of the Olympic committee or whatever the committee was. I think it was the Olympics. And, like 30 people in this uncomfortable room. And then afterwards, Bloomberg shook my hand, and I knew he was already a billionaire. And he goes, I owe you one. I go, thanks. He goes, no. I don't just say that. I always repay my debts. I owe you one. So I was kind of hoping he'd be president, and then I could call in my chit, because I never did the whole time he was mayor. I realized he was busy. I let it slide, but...
He still owes you, though, huh?
Yeah.
You got it on a ledger somewhere?
No, but I just have my oral... I believe in the oral... I have the oral history. Oh, yeah. I thought it came right out, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's not
you got it.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe if he becomes mayor... Can you become mayor again? How does that work? Can't be president again. Can you be mayor again?
I guess you can, yeah. Why not? There's probably no law.
Well, governor of California, that Jerry Brown guy, he became governor again.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if you can be governor, you've got to be mayor.
Like, he was governor in, like, the 90s. Like, the early 90s, I think.
I think in the 80s. Because I think Johnny Carson used to make those jokes.
Caught for smoking crack. Didn't he win again in D.C. for being mayor?
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, you're
Marion
right.
Barry.
Yeah, Marion Barry.
Back.
Yeah.
So
Shut up.
I wonder how many
Who are
terms
you?
he did, though. Like, I wonder if there's, like, a limit on how many terms he could be. You're more politically minded than I am. Like, do you
I don't know
Why,
that guy.
why do people go on Joe Rogan to talk politics? Like comedians. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's the climate. No, shut up. Like, when did this happen, you know? Like, this dude is pretending to be smart. I'm not smart, but I'm smart enough to know when I do this. Pretending to be smart. Like, hey, a political forum, the Joe Rogan experience. What?
This stuff, though, no.
How many terms can you be a mayor? Because someone like Bloomberg has got to come back in and clean New York City up. Because you're not going to get there with this social justice warrior attitude that de Blasio has. It's just going to lead to
more
complete deterioration of that city.
Yeah, but it may be too late. You never know.
Too late.
You never know. I mean, nobody likes to think of New York that way. But it's like a lot of people, so many people moved that I was shocked moved to the suburbs. That I was like, wow, this is serious. Like, I didn't really believe it. Just because I'm so New York, like, I don't even think in terms of leaving New York, even though, you know, it's irrevocably changed to me before any of this happened. But so many people moved out. I was like, this is getting serious.
What did you think about that Altucher, Jerry Seinfeld little feud about New York is dead? Fuck you, no, it's not.
Yeah. I mean, look, you can argue either side of it and be right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be dead, but at the same time, I'm not going to pretend it's not in deep trouble.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I
don't
just
want it to
don't
be dead
know
for
how
life.
it gets out. That's what my worry is.
I know.
Unless COVID gets cured, and then Ari Shaffir thinks artists are going to start moving in again, but he's one of those guys.
Right.
He's got that, you know, because it needs to be gritty. Or New York City needs to be gritty.
Right. And
He's one of those guys.
Yeah, but
Never
I mean,
been mugged. That's why.
He's an idiot, you know? Colin Quinn is that type of guy. Like, he wants to shit on Ari Shaffir for being gritty or wanting New York to be gritty. Fucking Joe Rogan, man. Know your audience.
Never really had the fuck beat out of him.
Yeah, you do need a couple of those in life.
You just need to know that it's possible.
You just need to be like, ow.
What does gritty mean to you? Let me tell you, it ain't a fucking. It's not Midnight Cowboy. That's a movie.
Yeah.
Real gritty is you get stabbed and then it gets infected.
No,
Yeah.
buddy.
And then you're in the hospital
Shut
for
up.
6 months.
Yeah, you need to at least.
Oh my god. Colin Quinn is like patronizing him with his laughter or giggling. Like, fuck you, Joe Rogan, you're not a comedian. Shut up. You know what I mean? Comedians don't get stabbed. Shut up.
Have had regretted laughing because you're holding your broken rib at least for 6 weeks in a row. You're like, is this ever gonna get better?
Shut up.
Yeah, it's that gritty shit is like, boy, yeah, I see what you're saying. I kind of get, I know, yeah,
You
some places
kinda-
are gritty, they're fun.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
no, it's fun. And like I said, when I'm watching Taxi Driver, I'm like, yeah, I miss New York. But I mean, I remember walking through Times Square. We don't have to ask what I was doing there. At 12 o'clock at night by myself, 1980,
Yuck.
81. And literally, they had like thieves' dens above the porno theaters. They had thieves' dens. So like, you go through, they had a little turnstile. I went in one once with this kid. He was taking me there. I forget, we were trying to do something shady, I'm sure. And we went up and it was like 50 like thieves, like Oliver, only New York.
Really?
Like a gang of people with, you know, illegal goods, trading illegal goods, right up on 42nd.
Listen to fucking Joe. No life experience. You know what I mean? Really? Like, he was just bashing fucking the grittiness or whatever of a place. You know what I mean? He's so comfortable, man. I know he's in Texas now, but this dude is Hollywood as fuck.
Street. Wow, it was crazy. So you'd see gangs running down. If anybody they would just swarm somebody, take their stuff, leave them on the ground, and
Like,
just
he can't even fathom why fucking Ari Shaffir would like to have a gritty surrounding. Maybe he's an artist and wants to be influenced and, you know, inspired. You know, this dude has a story now on your fucking podcast. Because he has experienced something. Like, Joe Rogan's life experience might consist of auditions, I guess. That type of thing. I don't know. Like, oxygen chambers. He's writing bits in oxygen chambers. Yeah, man. That's interesting. Write a bit about you writing a bit in the oxygen chamber.
keep going.
The thing about it is, though, the disrespect to the police right now,
Right.
it leads it to a very difficult situation of trying to bring it back. It's like that wasn't the case in the 80s and the 90s. People respected the police. Like when Giuliani brought it back, there wasn't this overall nationwide resentment of the police force like we're having now, which is pretty unprecedented.
Well, I mean, there sort of was in New York, actually, at that time. There's a couple of incidents where, but yes, not like this.
This is a different
This
level.
is a luxury that people are able to indulge themselves by putting all, lightning rod sort of, you know what I mean? Like, the police, to me, it's like a proxy war, you know what I mean? Everybody knows cops. Everybody knows cops are nuts. We all had the friend that you grew up with. You're like, whatever happened to him? He became a cop. Jesus. but, no one denies that part. Even cops know that about themselves. But that being said, it's easy for everybody to just go, okay, like I say, proxy war. So all the bottled up racial resentment in the country, and it's like the people that have to actually go and say, hey, listen, here's what has to happen. They're going to be the fall guy for that. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know what I mean? That's what this is, in my opinion.
Well, you know what it is? It's like social media only captures the things that are viral, right? With the things that you're going to watch are only going to be viral. And the ones that go viral are the ones that are really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody wants to see, there's no viral videos of a cop pulling a guy over and having a laugh with him. And so, listen, man, you're going 63 and a 55. Just do me a favor, slow it down. All right, sir, I'm a big fan of the police. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Shake your hand. Bye. Take care. No, instead you have some asshole grabbing some black woman and pulling her out of the car and body slamming her, and you're like, these motherfuckers, they keep doing this.
Right.
But you could have millions of interactions with cops.
Yeah.
And you're only going to see one, and you decide that all cops are pieces of shit. When there's these hundreds of thousands of cops that are great guys. They're just doing a really difficult job and trying to keep it together. But one or
Joe Rogan, man, straddling the fence. The devil's advocate. Fuck off.
two a week is going to go bad, and that's all you need to know. And everybody thinks that the world is falling apart because you see those videos, and those videos get 2, 3, 4, 5 million downloads, and everybody just thinks that all cops are terrible people, and it's not the case.
Right? No, exactly.
But try telling people that, and they think you're a cop apologist.
Yeah, they say
you're a piece of shit. Yeah, you're a white supremacist.
Right.
Yeah. Stand down and stand by.
That's right.
What the fuck was that? Let Trump tell the white supremacists to stand down and stand by.
And it's one of those moments.
Oh, did you see that? Like Joe is a funny guy, man. You know? And if you don't believe me, just watch him force his laughter onto Colin Quinn. Like, just say something and then crack yourself up. And everybody's gonna... Like, that's manipulation, man. Joe Rogan, man, he has it down, bro. You know? You know Joe Rogan reads books on that shit. Like, he thinks he's a manipulator and he has it figured out. That goes for most of people, you know? Maybe not. Maybe it's just a little percentage, a small percentage of people that really like buy into the whole Joe Rogan hype, you know? Him being their guru and everything. Being inspired by Joe Rogan, the most inspirational, you know, positive thinking person I've ever met. Like, I read comments like this. I've ever met. But watch him do this shit. You know what I mean? Like, Colin Quinn, man, he's doing his best. Like, Colin Quinn isn't a guy that really, you know, gives you pity laughs. Like, he's not the dude. You tell it like it is, like Howard Cosell. It is an audition in a sense, you know what I mean? These motherfuckers, man, when they go on the Joe Rogan experience, they're on their best behavior. Don't want to upset the host. Means too much. Yuck.
You're like, you know what? It was
Like, look at Joe. Oh, look at. Ooh, like he's forcing himself, man. The pursed lips. Look at him. Oh, slanty-eyed. Like he's trying his best to look like a person that's enjoying himself, you know what I mean? No laughter here, bro. And Joe Rogan, he does this thing where he goes, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I cracked myself up. Oh, he does that also as a response to like motherfuckers telling jokes. Oh, like he does this shit. Moaning, like my belly hurts. Like fucking Anthony Cumia does that too. Like he'll grab his fucking belly and laugh. Like fuck off, bro. Are you cartoon characters? You know? Like an exaggerated version of everything. Like it's fucking theater. The fuck? Why are you a pantomime right now? Ugh.
Stand down and stand by.
That's racist,
Yeah, you're a white supremacist.
Right.
Yeah. Stand down and stand by.
That's right.
What the fuck was that?
Ooh.
But Trump, I tell the white supremacists to stand
let's
down
take
and
a
stand
sip.
by.
And it's one of those moments where you're like, you know, it's basically.
Off mic, he's fucking moaning. Like now he has to look how he grabbed for that fucking bottle of water. You know, when they know they're ashamed and shit, they try wetting their offices.
Down and stand by.
He said it.
Trump,
Did he
and
say it
stand by.
twice?
That's right.
What the fuck was that? But Trump, I tell the white supremacists to stand down and stand by.
And it's one of those moments where you're like, you know, it's basically.
Stand down and stand by.
Like a blind man.
Stand down and stand by.
That's right.
Look like a blind man, like reaching for his cane.
What the fuck was that?
Oh, he's so lonely.
But Trump, I tell the white supremacists to stand down and stand by.
And it's one of those moments where you're like, you know,
It's so nice. Gotta say it twice.
basically the one thing you wouldn't. It reminds me like, not like Nero fiddling while Rome burns. I feel like it's when all the Roman senators going, so what are you gonna do now, Nero? And he starts taking the fiddle out of the case and like, no, he's not gonna fucking. Is he gonna fiddle right now?
He's really fiddling.
He's kidding, right?
But you were saying earlier when we were talking outside that he had just called the KKK. What did he just?
I didn't say that. Somebody else.
Oh, somebody else was out there saying that he called them a terrorist group, right? Didn't he say that? Like,
I don't know.
Was that the case, Jamie? Someone out there was saying, someone in the law, I forget who said it. He called the KKK a terrorist group like the week before, or labeled them. Is that true?
I don't know about wording it that way is correct. I don't think he called them that.
Well, let's see what he said. Is that true?
I don't know about wording it that way is correct. I don't think he called them.
Joe's pissed. You know what I mean? Don't play what I just said, motherfucker. Or my fucking memory of what he said. Like, you know what I mean? Jamie, know your place. That wasn't a good move, Jameson. Anyway, fucking Jamie's his anchor. It's his emotional anchor. You see, Colin Quinn wasn't with it, so you think it's just like, you know, he's asking his producer to look something up for him because that's his job. He's just telling him to do his job. Shut up. That's his emotional anchor. Colin Quinn rejected him, and immediately it went like... Joe is funny anyway. Like, how many times did he actually change kind of the subject from what Colin Quinn would like? Normally it's kind of yes-anding and shit. No, like he has to be in control, really. Like, Colin Quinn didn't give him what he wanted, so even his body language is like, you're gonna completely... like, it's as if fucking Colin Quinn is no longer in the room when Jamie gets addressed. What a weirdo.
Right?
Right.
He just.
I didn't say that. Somebody else.
Oh, somebody else was out there saying that he called them a terrorist group, right? Didn't he say that? Like,
I don't know.
Was that the case, Jamie? Someone out there was saying, someone in the law, I forget who said it. He called the KKK a terrorist group like the week before,
Jamie.
or labeled them. Is that true?
I don't know about wording it that way is correct. I don't think he.
That's the reaction of a guy that didn't get the help he wanted. He wanted help, emotional help. And he didn't. He just wants to get backed up, 2 against 1. It's not even against 1, but he built it up in his head to be that. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan works that way.
Called them that.
Well, let's see what he said. Is that true?
I don't know about wording it that way is correct. I don't think he called them that.
Well, let's see what he said.
He didn't call them that. the White House labeled them
Oh, the
that.
White House
Yeah.
labeled them a
So it's
terrorist
not-
group.
He didn't say it somewhere or whatever. It's
Right.
just- yeah.
But that opportunity, it was so funny. Like he's telling Joe Biden,
Right.
I want you to say law and order. You can't even say
Right,
it. You
right.
can't even say and he didn't say it.
Right.
And then he said, I want you to denounce white supremacy. And then Chris Wallace is like, Mr. President, do you denounce white supremacy? I tell them to stand down and stand by. Like, the people that were like
Yeah.
his strategists probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like,
You
like,
can't
when you
say
say-
stand by.
he's like, whoa, hey, come on, I don't want to go that quick. What about just
All he had to do was say, yes, I denounce white supremacy.
Of course.
That's all he had to say.
See, but that's why you should be moderating this debate, because you could be physically grabbing both of them and saying, listen, here's what's going to happen.
No, he couldn't.
Instead, Chris
He
Wallace
couldn't.
like,
Did you just see him?
Yeah, he's like,
Look how
People
small
that
he
were
is.
like
Yeah.
his strategists probably like, what the fuck?
yeah, he's like,
You
like,
can't
when you
say
say-
stand by.
Oh,
he's like, whoa.
act out. But did you see him? He's like, he's.
Yeah, he's like,
You
like,
can't
when you
say
say-
stand by.
By the way,
his
by the way.
strategists probably like, what the fuck?
yeah,
Jamie?
He's like,
You
He's like,
can't
when you
say
say-
stand by.
Come on, man. Come on, bro. This guy's not full size, man. Look at, like, his fist is almost as big as his head. His muscles don't look real.
he's like, whoa, hey, come on, I don't want to go that quick. What about just
All he had to do was say, yes, I
yeah,
denounce
he showed
white
you his
supremacy.
muscles. Of
That's all
course.
he had to say.
Colin.
See, but that's why you should be moderating
No,
this debate.
no.
Because you could be physically grabbing
No.
both of them and saying, listen,
Colin.
here's what's going to happen now. Instead, Chris Wallace like, excuse me, guys, what up? You know what I mean? He's not, you need alpha. You have to be able to physically walk up to the podiums and put people
Well,
into
that's what I was saying. They
an
need
arm
Big
bar.
John McCarthy. They need the UFC referee, Big John McCarthy, the famous. He's a big, giant dude. He can handle that shit. He would tell people to sit the fuck down. He was a cop.
Yeah.
He knows how to, like, control.
Colin doesn't know who John McCarthy is. Like, shut up already. John McCarthy is like he reminds me of Club Soda Kenny.
be laughing. The problem with me, I would be like, oh my God, what a shit show. I would turn to the camera. I'd break the wall. I'd be
Yeah.
like, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah. You just,
we got a real fucking
Break the
problem
wall.
here.
yeah. Folks, you may want to tap out on this country.
Yeah, I'd be like, Jesus, Canada doesn't look so bad right now. I know that Justin
It's
Trudeau's
big
kind of a
time.
pussy, but
They said a lot of, what do you mean he was a boxer?
was he?
Yeah. I heard he was.
I played basketball a couple times. I don't call myself a basketball player.
Or maybe he's the kind of boxer where they're like, hey, listen, that's the prime minister's son, so if he hits you, just flinch, don't hit him.
Oh, one of those.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Yeah, I've seen that before. No, I'm sure. Actually, I do think he did have a boxing match. He's a little too handsome for my taste.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Beautiful man. He did blackface at least 30 or 40 times.
That's right.
Didn't he?
In Canada, it's different.
I think he played like Indian people or something. It
Oh,
wasn't, like,
that's what it was. Right,
necessarily
right.
Black. It was like brownish.
Yes, it's indigenous face
Yeah.
up
It is kind of funny. Like
It's
white
First
faces.
Nations face.
White faces, like no problem at all.
there. Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You know, like you could be white faced. No one cares.
Oh,
can
yeah.
can you
Yeah,
play a
let's touch on every controversial topic and hope something funny falls out of it. I don't know, man. Falls out of it. That was dumb. Comes up. Like, what the fuck, though? Is it luggage? Why is it falling? Is it a bag? Oh my god. I guess it's 15 minutes in, man, and that's what they do, you know? It's the illusion of people having fun. I'm not having fun. I have a hard time actually following. What are they talking about, really? Bunch of different subjects. Let's touch on everything. The first 15 minutes. What is going to happen? Is this the upswing in Colin Quinn's career that he's worked so hard for, you know? All these one-man shows just to be a guest on the Joe Rogan Experience. Everything Bob Kelly is dreaming of. What is he going to do with this great opportunity?
redhead if you're not a redhead? Is there any shame in that?
Well, would you want to is the first question. But second of all, nah, stupid.
If someone had to do like the Andrew Santino story,
But I don't know Andrew Santino.
he's a
Can
comic
we make
from
it Bill
LA.
Burr?
Very fun. Yeah, but Bill Burr's he's bald now. Play a redhead if you're not a redhead.
I don't know, Andrew Santino. Stab in the heart. Isn't that your opener, Joe? Nobody knows him. You know what I mean? Just in your little circle. You think you've done something, but you ain't done shit. I've brought up these comedians and I abandoned the comedy store or whatever. Who gives a fuck? Shut up. No one likes you.
Is there any shame in that?
Well, would you want to is the first question. But second of all, nah, stupid.
If someone had to do like the Andrew Santino story,
But I don't know Andrew Santino.
he's a
Can
comic
we make
from
it
LA.
Bill Burr?
Very fun. Yeah, but Bill Burr's
Can we make it Bill Burr in your face, Joe Rogan? The guy you keep on coughing over when he tells great stories. Oh, ever watched fucking Bill Burr on the Joe Rogan Experience? Like, he does things to Joe. Things start to happen when Bill starts being funny. You know, Joe gets all anxious, man. Starts. I don't know. Yeah, it's the butter coffee. Yeah, it's the coffee and the butter. What were you saying? What was this great story? What was the ending to this great story? Let me change the subject. You're being too funny on my show. What is going on, Joey? You don't like people being funny? Like, people think Theo Vaughn's jokes go over. First of all, Theo Vaughn isn't half as funny as he's like getting credit for. But yeah, his jokes aren't going over Joe's little head, which is a big head, I guess. It looks kind of big on his small torso. Oh my god. Over his small frame, right? That's not happening. Joe doesn't like people being funny, right? Because that's what he does, what he's supposed to do. But he likes to philosophize when people are being funny. And when people are philosophizing, he wants to be funny.
he's bald now.
He's too bald to be called a
yeah,
redhead.
it's like it's hard to call him a redhead now. Who would be like Carrot Top? Okay, Carrot Top.
Yeah.
that's the most famous. Like, clearly, I mean, it's in his name, Carrot Top.
Yeah.
Right. Could you be? Is there any shame in that? No.
No.
Know why? Nobody ever owned redheads.
No.
Maybe
right.
they did.
This is so
Because there were a lot of
fucking
Irish
boring.
slaves, right?
Yeah.
This is such a fucking boring this is such drivel, bro. What? Look how disinterested fucking Colin Quinn is, because it's so fucking contrived. This whole, like, this is Joe's angle being controversial, you know what I mean? He's gonna touch on things that would be seen as outlandish to be fucking, I don't know. Like, people with red hair being discriminated against. You know, that's his angle right now, you know what I mean? Is that supposed to, what? Make us think? Could some of the other issues be not as bad as they seem? Is Joe Rogan making me think?
Back in
That's
the day,
true.
the whole thing was Irish.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
them were, we're the original redheads, really. Well, it's probably from the Scandinavians. The Vikings had a lot of redheads, like Eric the Red.
Oh, right.
That's the only
Yeah.
reason I think the Vikings had redheads. The guy's name was Eric the Red. Probably had a red beard and blonde hair.
Probably covered in blood too, right?
Oh my God.
Those motherfuckers. You ever see those people in Iceland?
Did you see that riff? Oof. Oof. What an amateur. That's coming from an amateur. You know what I mean? But fuck Joe. And blood maybe also. Let's change this topic. What? Like, he tried to save your fucking angle, weirdo. But Joe's the best.
and that win those strongman competitions?
Yes,
They're the remnants of the Vikings.
they are beasts.
Enormous human beings that live in the frozen north where the Vikings lived.
The only thing I know is that the word berserk comes from them. Berserkers.
Yeah.
They used to come down and go berserk.
And you know what they used to do? They used to take mushrooms.
They did?
Yeah, that was their big thing. They would take mushrooms and slaughter.
Now, wait a minute. Where'd they get mushrooms up there?
DMT.
I thought mushrooms were from South America.
No, mushrooms are from all throughout Europe. Mushrooms are all throughout North America. They're native to a lot of different climates.
Well,
They would preserve them too. They would
This is the prelude to the DMT discussion.
get them in the summertime and then they preserve them in the wintertime. But I'm 99% sure that was a part of the history of the Vikings, is that they would take a lot of mushrooms.
well, when I was growing up, I mean, I consider myself the early.
Here we go. Fly algaric mushroom. Yeah, that's the Amanita muscaria. The first.
Why does this shit take precedence over fucking Colin Quinn speaking? You know? Why is the screen lighting up, like becoming, like, it's all controlling alpha shit, you know? Something he read. And that actually influences motherfuckers that watch the shit, you know? They get all weirded out and think Joe Rogan is some type of authority figure. It's creepy actually, man, the way this shit works. Me kinda understanding it would lead you to believe that I could exploit it, right? To my advantage. But this is icky, yo. This is some icky shit, bro. I can't do it. Can't do it.
First account of Vikings going berserk because they ate magic mushrooms was hypothesized in 1784 by a Christian priest named Odman. He came to a conclusion that connected the berserkers to the fly algaric mushroom because he read that Siberian shamans did the same thing when they were healing. That show Vikings?
Yeah.
You ever see that show? It's a
No.
good show. Fun show. They take mushrooms in that show.
But the
Did Vikings eat mushrooms?
How did this
Let's see
happen?
that. See,
How did
that's
this
they
happen?
connected to the Amanita
Oh my
muscaria,
God.
red and white mushroom. So that's not the same mushroom. In the Viking movie,
The Joe Rogan vortex. Yo, I don't know if I can do this. I don't think I can. Like, I feel bad for Colin Quinn right now. This is bad. Oh, listen, man, this guy Joe, man. Too big for his oats. He's out there. You know what I mean? I think he was always a weirdo. Like, we didn't know, but now we know. And we still, like, act like this is a guy. This is a real guy. Doesn't seem like a real guy. Hey, fella?
or the Viking television show, it looks like they're taking psilocybin. Some scholars propose that certain examples
So
of the
did this motherfucker did he see that shit in a Vikings episode and brung it up like a fact? Like, is this happening? Is he not just now researching this shit? What would he do if he didn't have Jamie? Like, even before, like, he was about to misquote some shit. Wanted Jamie to look it up, like, Jamie knew. He's like, no, dude, you're wrong. Fucking Joe, man. Like, all this alpha shit, man, gets him in trouble sometimes. Where's the priority? Being alpha? Or being sued? Or cancelled? He made the deal with the devil and now he's gotta choose. But we all know he already chose. He's just too dumb to know it. He's just too dumb not to know and to shut up. He won't survive this shit, bro. Like, he's fucked. Should I feel bad for Joe? Wow. This took a turn.
rage had been induced voluntarily by the consumption of drugs such as the hallucinogenic mushroom Amanita muscaria or massive amounts of alcohol.
But here's my problem, is that when I was growing up, we ate a lot of
Massive amounts of alcohol.
Look at, like, he's actually proud that he just read something. Look at his face, the mouth movement shit he does. He's a psychopath, like Joe Rogan, man. Are you alright, bro? Look at that. That's ugly. Like he was. Look at that. Like I read something. I'm a caveman.
Is that when I was growing up, we ate a lot of mescaline, which is basically mushrooms and organic. You know, it was
Sort
like
of.
chemical. What's that?
Sort of. Mescaline is
Well, we ate
actually
mushrooms
peyote.
too. Yeah,
But
it was
sort
like
of.
chemical. What's that?
Sort of.
See, he's like, what's that? Like, I give it to him. Like, Colin Quinn is kind of gritty. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck did you just say? Like, sort of with the obnoxious attitude. You know what I mean? Sort of. Why did you just, like, pull out glasses to say that? What's that hat called that they throw in the air when they get their diploma? Why did you put out that hat, bro? Just to say that shit. Yeah, anyway, man, fucking Colin Quinn not fucking around, you know what I mean? Don't step on his words. Don't question him. He gives him the eyes. Like, I don't even want to, like, overanalyze fucking Colin Quinn because he's pretty out there, you know? With his expressions and shit. Like, he's not snidey. He's not behind your back, like, gossipy. He's not that type of dude, you know what I mean? Although he does that only to Jim Norton, though. And he deserves it. He's a worm. But he didn't like him fucking, like, stepping on his shit.
The mescaline, which is basically mushrooms and organic. You know, it was
Sort
like
of.
chemical. What's that?
Sort of. Mescaline is
Well, we ate
actually
mushrooms
peyote.
too. Yeah.
But mescaline is I think it's in the stimulant category. I
Well,
think it's,
even more so, this is going to prove my point. When you're eating mescaline, acid, any of this stuff, mushrooms, you don't tend to want to get violent.
that's true. But
So-
if you live in a completely violent world
Right.
and you took mushrooms, I don't think it would turn you peaceful.
No, and it turn you peaceful, but you might be like, I'm just going to stay in the forge. You know, these guys are going on this stupid trip. You're going to go on an 18-hour trip to go and rampage through some civilization. You're not in the
Here's
mood for
why I
that.
disagree. It's become a thing with fighters to take mushrooms and fight.
What?
Yeah, it's actually really common, and the thing is, they're not really testing for it. So there's certain
That doesn't-
fighters that are taking
that's-
mushrooms, and
That doesn't sound like anybody does. And Joe Rogan just wants to, like, I don't know, one up a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking? Like, who told you that shit, bro? Like, Bretton Sharp, shut the fuck up. Like, the insider, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got insider information on mushroom fight. Like, that's gonna be a headline, and I guess that gets him off. Like, what the fuck, Joe? That's not happening. Fighters, like, has fucking Joe Rogan ever done mushrooms? I haven't. But has Joe? Like, who knows? Who knows really? Joe has a black daughter.
and competing in kickboxing, competing in MMA.
On
Yeah,
mushrooms.
On mushrooms. Yeah.
That's the hilarious. That's one of the greatest things I've ever heard.
Well, they say it makes them way more effective, and then they almost can like read things better. They're locked in better.
I could see locking in, but you also get trails and stuff like that. This goes on, you know.
Maybe it's how much you take. Like maybe just take a dose that's. Also, you got to realize these people are like their adrenaline's through the roof. Like the effects of the mushrooms probably very different if you're about to go into a fight.
My adrenaline was through the roof when I was 17. Now listen, Doc Ellis, of course, took the acid. That was a famous one, right?
Yeah, but
And
that's
did he
not
have a good
violent.
game?
Oh yeah, he's pitched a no hitter.
He pitched a no.
Yeah, pitched a no hitter on acid. Like, there's real evidence that though in some circumstances psychedelics can enhance your performance.
Well, I'll tell you a story. Probably the third time I took acid. Maybe I was 16, and this is a fight. It's got violence in it, but it's not that I was. So I was at a Sweet 16 in Brooklyn. Yeah, it was a mob run place, by the way. So you do a Sweet 16. This has a lot to do with my whole life.
See, that's what I like actually about these New York type comics, you know. I don't want to like generalize it like that, but you know, they have a sense of humbleness. Humility. about them. You know what I mean? It's not all this braggadocious weird shit. A LA comic would tell you he wouldn't put in like, it's not like that I'm a fighter or whatever. You know what I mean? He wouldn't like preference shit. Imagine Brian Callen that. So alright, maybe it's to comedic effect, but at the same time, like, that seems a little bit of the norm there. It's actually like lovable. You like a dude just more if he's comedic humility. It's like these other dudes, they I don't know, they want to get over by exaggerated bravado, but you know, that gets played out way quicker than the other way, than with humility.
Life, when I really look back on it. So I was 16, I was in love with this girl. She wasn't dating me, but she was at the party. But the way they set it up, so it's like, here's a sweet 16, here's an office party, they're all in the same room. And then there's a stage down at the bottom, and here's, you know, some guy that, you know, just got his, you know, you retired from the, you know, job, whatever his job. Then you have, you know, so it's like 15 different events of 2 tables each at this place. Palm Shores Club, it was called, in Brooklyn. So I'm at the party with my friends, and there's this girl I'm in love with, but I haven't dated. Yeah, we ended up going out for a couple of years after this. But so I'm tripping on acid, and then one of the other groups that was with our group, because the girl having Sweet 16 had our other friends there too. One of these guys sold pot to the girl I loved. He sold her a bag of weed. So she's like, you know, Brooklyn, she's like, yeah,
listen to the fucking silence while this dude is telling a story. Like, imagine if this was like O&A back in the day. Like, I don't want to be too nostalgic and reminiscent about this show, but whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I understand it's a one-on-one conversation, but it would be a bunch of throw-ins which kind of would inspire, you know, comedic back and forth, I guess. You know, without being staged, like fucking Chris D'Elia, Brian Callen, and all these motherfuckers. Like, they're also theatric, you know what I mean? But this shit, like, it's really just, what? Is he performing now? What, Joe? You're just sitting there taking it in. Oh, Joe is such a good listener. Like, this dude has nothing to say ever, bro. Nothing that would be, like, funny, you know? I guess, like, it's an entertainment podcast, like, not necessarily a comedy podcast, but what the fuck, bro? Why have all these comedians on if you're not gonna be funny? Never. It's not like I want Joe to be funny, because he has, like, exposed himself as a fucking unfunny motherfucker, like, for years now. Was he ever funny? It's just in context, like, I don't know, man. I think I watched Joe Rogan really because I was young enough to think, like, a cool dude. He's a cool dude that's like, he's a dude. I don't want to even say cool, but he's like a dudeish dude that does commentary. I don't know, it's like loose with it, I guess. And he smokes weed, you know, maybe that's something that I liked when I was younger. The possibility maybe of getting a motherfucking Diaz brother on the podcast. Like, that was a big thing back in the day. But really, man, like, as far as funny, bro, I think I've seen him, like, commentate, I think 2 buffaloes fighting. Was it buffaloes? Or 2 bears, I believe. It was 2 bears, and there were grappling maneuvers in there, and he was, like, doing UFC commentary on that shit. And that was funny, like, you know what I mean? When they're watching, like, clips and shit on YouTube back in the day. But this shit, bro, like, pseudo-intellectualism, like, what are you doing, guy? What are you doing? Why are you, like, please spread your feathers, I guess? Like, what are you doing, man? You're, like, constricted as a motherfucker. Anyway.
He beat me on the weed. He sold me like 4 joints. What a rip-off artist. So me,
there he is.
Shit, knight in shining armor. You know what I mean? I go up to him. I don't know the guy. There's long tables, 2, 3 long tables. Excuse me. Tap him on the shoulder, you know. Excuse me. She feels like you shorted her. I'm not dating her. I'm just, you know, I'm in love with her. She shorted you on, you shorted her on the weed, so, you know, you might want to give her a couple more joints. Guy's like, no, I didn't. Turns away. listen, excuse me, you know, she feels you did. You gave her 4 joints, whatever. In those days, you get like 6 joints for a bag, a $5 bag, right? Maybe 7, you know. I said, yeah, I kind of shorted her. I'm still not sure to this day if he shorted her, by the way. I didn't count them, you know.
You were just being a white knight.
I was just being a white knight. So he goes, no, I didn't. Get the fuck out. You know, just basically like, you know, he has to show his pride too. He's letting this guy tap him on the shoulder a couple of times. He's with his friends. I'm with my little friends. And I go, and he goes, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, just, you know, now I'm starting to annoy him, you know, and he's like, what's this guy? You know, he had to do that. So I was like, jump on him, start punching him.
There you go.
In the middle of a giant event.
Oh, no.
Jumping, punching him.
There you go.
Everybody, you know, a ruckus erupts, you know, it's like a whole place. So our table's going crazy. Screams, you know, fights. And the grandmother, my friend wrote a song about it, by the way, the next day. And because the grandmother kicked me in the ear. My whole ear was caked with blood because I'm ruining her granddaughter's.
The grandmother kicked you in the ear?
Yeah, the grandmother.
While you were scrambling on the ground?
While I'm on the ground.
My God.
He was caked with blood because, you know, I'm ruining her granddaughter's 16. I don't blame her, you know. And they're breaking up. But meanwhile, so anyway, long story short, I'm tripping. So like this is like the 3rd time I've tripped, maybe the 2nd. I on acid. I had done mescaline and everything else. So I'm tripping. So finally they drag me out. I'm picked up like bodily, but it's a mafia place. Remember? Downstairs in the basement. These 2 guys, a couple of the young mob guys, you know, I could tell they were like young, thin, you know, guys. They didn't look like to me like mob, and start punching me. And then they just looked at me, and I could tell they were just like, look at this guy is so pathetically pussy whipped. They could just tell in my eyes. They're like, get him out of here, and just tossed me onto Emmons Avenue, which is a big street in Sheepshead Bay. And then my friends drove by, like, I'm walking, you know, stumbling along. Like 3 minutes later, my friends drove by because they left too. They had to leave. And they just could not stop laughing. I'm just standing there. But here's the weird part about the story is that on stage was this old man who at that moment was doing stand-up comedy. And to this day, anytime I have like hecklers, I'm like, that's karma because I was the guy that ruined his show. And he's going, come on, fellas, calm down. I heard him say that. And at the time, I noticed because I was like, why is there this guy's so old doing stand-up? But he's probably a guy, you know, doing it at that time. And she said some knockaround joint.
Getting paid.
And then an idiot ruins his whole show with a brawl.
Over a $5 bag of weed.
Over a bag of weed, which may or may not have been shorted.
And when you think about that,
story.
like, have you ever done gigs like that? Did you ever have to do like a kid's party or anything like that?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, all those.
Did you?
You mean gigs where you just don't? I mean, sure. Haven't you ever?
I did bachelor parties. I did a couple of those.
But bachelor parties, they suck.
Yeah.
On the street, well, most of the one comedy club is on the street, but most of them are in like parks or in like parking lots. There's a lot of parking lots.
So weird.
Yeah.
So how do you get people to pay to sit in a park?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
because otherwise, people could just walk up.
I mean, that's the
stand on
problem,
the outside and listen. They don't have to pay.
Yeah, in the parking lot, you always the problem with doing a parking lot is even though you could be doing great, you know there's some idiot outside the parking lot that could start screaming.
Yeah.
Like when I was 16, I would have done, you know. Like,
For sure. Honk your horn.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, my God.
Or just play Andrew Dice Clay really loud in your car. Just something to distract
You're giving them like good ideas.
Yeah.
I did a gazebo a couple of weeks ago, a benefit up in Connecticut. And
like a wedding gazebo?
Yeah,
how
like an
Chappelle's doing
outdoor.
it in New York or in
Was that a gazebo?
Yeah, he's doing it in Ohio. It's like a wedding chapel, outside wedding chapel. That's where he's doing his shows.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in the town square. I was just doing a benefit, and a couple of kids drove by when the guy before me was on and just honked and screamed. Yeah. Ruined your joke.
Do you know Bert Kreischer?
Sure.
Yeah, Bert's doing a lot of these drive-in shows.
I know he is, of course.
Yeah. I go, what was the show like? He goes, it was great. It was 700 cars. Like 700 cars.
Now
that's a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just did it for HBO Max. I did like a comedy outdoor special with a bunch of comedians from New York and 30 cars. And it went back far. How did he get 7?
He's doing giant places.
This was 30 cars and it was way back.
Yeah.
This must be like, I mean, I can't imagine how far back it must go.
It goes far, and they all light their lights and honk their horns and shit.
That's right. That's what they were doing.
Yeah. It's
Oh
like,
my God, 700. That,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, but Bert's hammered too, right? So he's like
Right.
barely aware of what's happening when the lights are flashing and people are honking. He's having a great time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you got video of it. Like this is, by the way, I'm 99% sure, so I'm just gonna say this. This is all his idea. Look how big this is. It's huge.
Wow.
There he's in Philly, and he did it all across the country. Takes his shirt off every show because it's important.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
He doesn't
And-
like his
Oh,
friend.
now he has to.
yeah. Now he has.
He's like Ellen
He's
dancing.
trapped. Right.
She has to dance every show. If he
He's
doesn't take her
trapped. So this is how he did it. So he would go out and do these crazy shows where he's in the parking lot. They'd set up a stage with lights
Wow,
and everything.
look at that.
He's been touring. Bird,
Look at that.
He's one of the only guys that through this pandemic has been regularly touring in a pretty safe way. Look at all those fucking cars.
Yes.
That's crazy. Pretty safe way.
That's kind of cool. It's actually really cool looking.
He said he enjoyed it. He said it was great. He enjoyed it. But you know,
but Bert's the kind of guy that enjoys things like that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I could see myself getting aggravated by this, and Bert's like, "It's the greatest." You know, he'll be.
This is so right.
He'll jump in their car, start making out with them. You know what I mean? Like Bert enjoys stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I just I miss real comedy. Like Mark Norman said it best. He's like, this is all methadone. He goes, we're all doing methadone. He goes, I want a real shot. He goes, I want the real hit right in the veins. He goes,
really
I don't want
is
to take
good.
this
Mark
methadone.
Norman
these,
said
these
it
park
best.
shows and these outdoor shows
Wow.
and the virtual shows are the worst. Like that's
Oh
just,
my God, yeah.
that's crazy. I've watched good comics bomb on Zoom and I'm like, stop doing that. There's no one there. You can't do that.
No, it sounds like pigeons. Like whoop, whoop, whoop. You don't hear laughter. You just hear this weird like whoop, whoop, whoop. And you're like, is that a laugh? What's going on?
It's just not a bad. It's a terrible way to do comedy.
No,
You suck.
But that's
You're bad at comedy.
Again, what I love about
Actually,
it is
fucking-
that it makes us really like you.
Colin Quinn is bad at comedy. Both these motherfuckers are bad at it. You know what I mean? They're good at like conversational humor, I guess. Colin Quinn is. Joe Rogan is bad at everything. He's not good at commentating. He's not good at comedy. He's not really good at entertaining. Like him, imagine him by himself, like listening to this motherfucker talk. He would never be able to do what Bill Burr does on this podcast. And I don't listen to that shit anymore. But just being able to somewhat entertain, I guess, you know. And even Bill Burr, man, he needs his wife, you know, to get over, to play her role, so he can play his role.
You realize a lot of people are going to fall by the wayside too.
Yeah.
Because
Thank
the
God.
money's going to go down.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank
The
God.
money's going to go down. This I'm
Yeah.
prepping people for low salaries at Austin Comedy Club. The money's going to go down.
You're gonna design Austin Comedy Club for me, right?
I would love it. But I'd like to
Design
really,
the room.
I'd like to curate the audience.
How you gonna do that?
Already we had a conflict when I was telling you I don't want those drunks at the audience. You're like, yeah, let them have a few drinks. I'm like, no, Joe.
You want to test them all to make sure they're not drunk.
Yeah, because I don't like. You're like, well, some drugs don't heckle. I know, but then they sit there like this, and you think they're listening to you, and their eyes are glassy. One time I was in Cleveland, and I was yelling at the whole crowd because they were drunk and just horrible. And there was this beautiful couple up front, guy and girl, blonde, dressed expensive. Like, I mean, they just looked like model movie stars. And I was like, these people like this come to see a show. Blah, blah, blah. I just yell at the crowd because it was like hecklers, it was a late show, you know. And then I finished. Then like 5 minutes later, the couple got up to go to the bathroom or leave, and they both face planted and passed out. They were so happy. They didn't even know I was talking. They didn't even know where they were.
We finally have a rapid test. So here, like we got tested. We got the same test that the White House uses. So they have a machine, do a nose swab, and get a result in 15 minutes. So you could conceivably have a show where people would show up, say 40 minutes early. Everybody gets in line, gets tested. When you get cleaned, you can get inside and have a drink.
Ever notice the older you get, the less you laugh. And by laughing, like really, you know what I mean? Like when you can't stop, that type of laugh, like childish laughter. That doesn't happen so often, you know what I mean? People forget how to laugh. I believe Joe Rogan forgot how to laugh. Last time I really laughed, I believe I was watching this white chick get throat fucked with these two dudes. And she was having like a hump in her back. You know? Every time her gag reflex was getting touched, triggered. Like both these dudes, man, they were addressing it, I guess. You know? Talking about how she had bad posture and that type of thing. Calling her the hunchback. You know, that type of thing. And that made me laugh at the time. Got caught off guard. That's been a while ago. Anyway, my point is I don't think Joe Rogan knows how to laugh like sincerely anymore. I guess he forgot to laugh.
So you could do a comedy club and have everybody with no mask on. You could conceive.
Yes.
The thing is, people like, even if people get tested, wear a mask. Like, everyone's so mask conscious now.
right.
Like, when we do the UFC, I can't do in-person interviews with the fighters.
Right.
But I'm tested and they're tested. Everybody's tested.
Right.
You have to be tested to even be in the building. You have to be clean the day of to be in the building, but yet still they want everybody to wear a mask. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, but it's also because when you live in a...
But why is that even something to be like argued? Why are you arguing this? Like, I saw a headline about this. Joe Rogan refuses to do post-fight interviews because he can't touch the fighters. What is going on, Joe? You know, why do you have to be in the picture, bro? Is that really about the fighters? What? Are you getting more out of them by being all in their grill? No self-righteous bullshit again, man. This dude, I don't know if self-righteous was the right word to use, but he's trying to, once again, like, I don't know, get some shine off these fighters, man. Like, watch Joe Rogan when he does these post-fight interviews, man. Like, especially John Jones. He forgets who he is at some moments. I mean, I'm not talking like he'll do it professionally in a way, you know. But at the same time, he tries to be like, to be in there too much, you know. He wants to, like, he has to say something when Conor McGregor does his thing. Actually, Colin Quinn was the guy that actually mentioned it. Like, watch Jim and Sam, the Colin Quinn episode where they're watching Conor McGregor get the second belt after the Eddie Alvarez fight. And he had like that whole thing planned, you know, where he goes, I apologize to absolutely no one and this type of thing, you know. And then also you needed those 2 belts, and Joe Rogan fucking ruined like the misdirection. I apologize to absolutely no one. And Colin Quinn actually fucking pointed it out on the Jim and Sam show, man. Joe Rogan ruined the momentum, the peak of what was the intended. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I'm kind of petering out, as you can tell. Anyway, whatever I tried to say. Fucking Joe Rogan, man, these post-fight interviews, man. He falls in love with John Jones all over again every time this motherfucker wins. Nate Diaz, like, he's weird. He's just too in there, you know what I mean? He wants to be a meme. That's what this is about.
Country that's built on lawsuits, everybody's like, whoa, that sounds like a there's 80 people going, don't wear a mask. I want to see what happens, just so they can try to sue you.
That's, yeah. Well, you'd have to sign a waiver.
Well,
like, if you're going to get to Austin Comedy Club, you'd have to sign a waiver.
Well, Austin Comedy Club, I hate to say this, it sounds like I'm already abusing the system, but I think the MC should have to do the testing. They should have to be registered.
A nurse. You have to be a nurse to be an MC.
Oh.
You want to host, you got to be a nurse. You got to get there early. Do that.
Save ourselves a few bucks.
Yeah, you know, like host would have to like pitch chicken wings at some place. Try the wings. In this place,
Well, I used to bartend when I started comedy. I would bartend at the comic strip, and they wouldn't let me on because they were like, no, it's a conflict of interest. It was a big ethical problem.
really, you had to quit your job as a bartender to be.
I quit before I could audition. Yeah.
This makes me not like Colin Quinn.
But the store, it's the opposite. The store, all the people that work there are comics. Everyone, the doorman.
It's always been.
But they actually, like Ari, when I met him, he was a doorman.
He was?
Gives a
Yeah,
sh-
it became, and then the beautiful thing was he eventually filmed his first special at the store,
Right.
his Comedy Central special. So it was like,
Okay, Joe Rogan is gonna predictably get emotional now.
wow, what a full circle he made.
Yeah. He seems more like a comedian than a doorman, if I may say.
Terrible doorman. He was
I don't give a fuck where you sit. Sit wherever. This place is gritty. This place is crazy.
Oh, call
Yeah,
back.
but everybody, Tony Hinchcliffe, everybody that works there, everybody that works there as a doorman is a comic.
See, Joe Rogan goes by the book. Needs to get a callback in there, you know what I mean? Because he's talking about the guy, I guess. Remember Ari? Gritty, right?
Everybody that works the cover booth is a comic. A lot of the people that work behind the bar are comics.
Well, you guys' crew really turned that place around. Because I was there in the early 90s. And the Comedy Store, I was there working, occasionally, I didn't even work that much when I lived in LA, but
It was a shithole.
well, not only was it a shithole, Monday was considered gang night, and it wasn't like it wasn't an inside joke. Like everybody knew gang night, the gangs knew it was gang night, so they would have gangs. It was just this crazy atmosphere, like this tense atmosphere. Every Monday night was gang night.
Yeah, it was not good when I got there in 94.
Yeah.
I got there in 94. It was
Yeah.
pretty rough. But occasionally it was good. Like occasionally like Damon Wayans would stop by
Right.
or Martin Lawrence would stop by. Like someone good would be there and you'd go, wow.
What was
Yeah.
it? What?
Now I get to see a real comic.
Gang
But
night?
a lot of it
Only
was like
black
half
dudes?
empty, not even.
Yeah,
real,
they had some
a lot-
tough years.
A lot of Bodaks.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, a lot of guys that really just shouldn't have been there. And my theory was that like Kinnison had left there somewhere around 86.
Right.
And when I got there in 94, 8 years later, it was just still like, because before that it was booming, right? There was Kinnison and Letterman and all these guys were there. And then when he left and he was banned from the store, I think he took everybody with him. And I think when I got there in 94, it was like he was already dead. And it was like the echoes of that his generation had already kind of died off.
Yeah, well, when I was in LA, I was in LA in 89, I guess, or 90 or something, 88, 89. And the Improv was the respectable club. It was what the store
Yes.
became. And the store was already crazy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And,
It was like that in 94.
yeah.
The agents wouldn't go there because they couldn't get in for free.
Right.
Because Mitzi was like, I don't give a fuck where you work.
Yeah.
Like
Love that.
if you were an agent and you wanted to get a table, it's like pay. Tell them to pay.
You know what, though? I don't blame her because the whole town was an agent. She wouldn't have made a dime.
Yeah. And not only that, they didn't pay attention. She would say they would talk in
Yeah.
the back, and they did. I remember I went to see a showcase once, and they, for whatever reason, William Morris had a showcase at a nightclub, and there was the downstairs where they had people seated, and the upstairs was like this little balcony where there was a bar, and it was filled with agents, and they were talking full blast while the show was going up. And I said, I'm not going up.
Yeah.
I told my agent, I'm like, I'm
Good.
not going up. There's no fucking way. And DePaulo was on stage. And DePaulo's on stage and he's yelling at these fucking people that are up in the balcony. Like he's talking shit about them.
Right.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was like the worst atmosphere for comedy. And the agents didn't give a fuck. It was
No.
agents' assistants, a lot of them. They were drinking and talking.
Yeah. They're just laughing. Yeah.
They're having a social time. They're having free drinks. You know, it's like this is their opportunity to chit chat. So while the show was going on, I mean, full blown bar level talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Terrible.
That was what Mitzi tried to avoid. She's like,
gives
get
a
him out of
shit.
here.
No, she definitely had the right
You
spirit.
feel bad
I didn't even know Kenneth was.
without
I remember
laughing
Kenneth
or
was there
watching.
one night.
Fuck
Rich
off.
Jenny told me, well, rest him in peace too.
Love that guy.
Yeah, great guy.
God, he was good.
But he knew Kennison, and Kennison owed him $100. So he went by the Comedy Store to get paid. He was in town. He's like, the guy's doing great now. He's making a lot of money. It's like 1988, 89. And he goes, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to go borrow them. And he goes to the MC. When Kennison gets off, I'm getting $100. He owes me $100. He never paid me. He's rich. I'm just, working the road. And then just then, Sam, you start screaming at somebody, and I can't. You know that bit he used to do where he goes, I'm going to take this napkin. I want you to write down the names of all your loved ones, your dead grandmother that always treated you. He'd go through the whole, he'd say to somebody in the audience, he'd go, write down your dead grandmother was always there for you.
Yeah, he knows because he has a bit like this. Like Joe Rogan, his whole act is like Bill Hicks and Sam Kinison inspired, I guess. If not completely plagiarized. Like, he has no qualms. He has no identity, man. This guy's also like thrown together like Brandon Sharp. He's the same dude, man. That's why he sees himself in dude, you know? You know, he understands, man. Dumb guy trying to be somebody. Anybody.
Write down your uncle that paid your way through, and I want you to write them all down. And then I want you to hand it back to me because I'm going to wipe my ass with it. And he said that, and he said the guy just exploded, attacked him. Sam's bodyguards just started punching, It turned into like a brawl at the Comedy Store. The guy was so mad, And then the MC goes, says, Jenny, maybe you should just ask him for 50.
Yeah, he was. I missed all that. I missed the Kinison. I saw him live a few times when I was an open micer. When I was in Boston, I went to see him. Yeah, he was
laughing that hard and then not laughing abruptly. That disqualifies your laugh. Not a real laugh.
Maybe you should just ask him for 50.
Yeah,
Ugh,
he was.
disgusting.
I missed all that. I missed.
That's, by the way, the same motherfucking face that he makes when he does pictures, when fans take selfies with him or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just showing teeth. He's
Kinison. I saw him live a few times when I was an open micer. When I was in Boston, I went to see him 3 times while he was alive. One time was at Great Woods. And one time was down the Cape, and then there was one other time, and it was interesting to see because it was like he didn't have new material, and he was trying to do some of the bits from the old stuff, and people would call out the punch.
See, like, he likes to shit on Sam Kinison for some reason. This is also weird. Maybe like he tries to distract from him copying him. You know what I mean? Also, he does this fucking Sam Kinison scream, like, while in UFC commentary. Like, who are you? You know? Kinison screams on the stage. He screams when a dude gets knocked out. But it's the same scream.
Punchlines. And so then he had to kind of write new shit while he was touring. And the HBO special had just come out because it was kind of a new thing back then. Like, there weren't a lot of HBO specials. It wasn't a real common thing.
No.
And he had developed that act over years and years and years.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, he's this hugely famous comedian. They come to see him, and he doesn't really have a lot of new material.
Yeah. No, that definitely happened to a lot of guys back then, where they'd just be like, they weren't used to people knowing their act.
Yeah.
And people are like, I don't hear. That's the thing about comedy. Musicians, people are calling out for their best hits.
Yeah.
No, if you do something new, they get mad.
Yeah.
Comedians just the opposite.
I know. It's crazy.
It's such a hassle, but, it's the way it is. And especially Sam's act, because it was all build up.
Yeah.
And the big punchline. So there was no in between,
Yeah, so I got to see
that's sucky. That's not good. You know what I mean? All build up, like showing off your great orator or whatever. And then you surprise us by also being funny. Like the same shit with Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? Trying to show off other qualities and then sprinkle in a little bit of funny. Not a lot, just enough to be well-rounded. A Swiss Army knife. A man of many trades, a master of none. Second to none. Michael, second to none.
like his B-level material. I never got to see the A material live. I got to see it on TV, but when I saw him live, it was all kind of like half-assed stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that good.
But it was also because his crowd.
The goal, though. You know what I mean? Like, as much as I criticize fucking Kinison, like he has legend status, I guess. You know what I mean? And he didn't have the longevity of a fucking Joe Rogan in the game. Like the gall to criticize his fucking shit, and you stole from that nigga.
Was so annoyingly like screaming at him that he ended up having he almost couldn't develop.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he should have been what Chris did. Go in when there's 15 people.
Yep.
He should have done that.
Well, he was just touring, right? He wasn't.
Yeah.
Like he developed his comedy by going up late at the store.
Right.
That was
Right.
the thing. Like going up late, he put that act together over years of struggle. And then all of a sudden he was huge, and now he's got to do these thousands of seats, and it's not the same. You can't develop an act. It's just, you can, but it's god damn, it's hard to develop an act in front of thousands and thousands of people.
And how about I don't know how you could do it. I mean, how about the fact that him and Pryor are both from Peoria?
Crazy,
Isn't that wild?
weird.
But he started in Houston. They said Sam in Houston, you know, him and Bill Hicks, all of them
Yeah.
worked at that. And they said Sam one time he like tied himself to the thing outside.
Yeah, the annex, because
Yeah.
they censored him. They wouldn't let him go up. Yeah, those guys, they had developed a real scene down here in Texas.
They really
and
did.
Hicks had a real scene in Austin. Hicks started
Yeah.
out here and then eventually went to
This is
Houston.
so weird, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he moved
Did
there.
he started in Houston and went to here eventually? That's right. I think he started in Houston, did Houston and Austin, and then he wound up, when he came to die, he died out here.
Wow.
Maybe
Yeah, I used
Joe
to go to the
Rogan is
Houston
Bill
comics
Hicks.
that hate God.
Well, it was odd because Texas is often
Nut.
thought of as being very
That's why they're so
religious.
obsessed
He's
with
Bill
it.
Hicks nuts.
You know?
Yeah, but a lot of, like, I think Garofalo came out here. I think she came out
Yes.
here during that time too,
That's
right?
right. Well, they had a bunch of.
But because it was like a scene. Like I remember
Yes.
hearing that she was coming out here because I knew her from Boston. I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. Like Texas is that like it made me rethink what Texas is in my head.
Yeah. And Brett Butler was
And
here.
this was during the 80s. This
Yeah.
was during the Kinnison era.
And that was when they had Ron Schock. Do you remember him?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you remember Andy Henton?
Jimmy Pineapple.
Yeah.
I worked with Jimmy Pineapple.
Yes.
One of the first times I ever did the Houston Laugh Stop, I worked with Jimmy Pineapple.
That's crazy.
Yeah, those guys,
Speaking
the
of,
outlaws of comedy.
Andy Henton used to have a joke, which, you know, he goes, so these girls having sex younger and younger these days. I overheard my sister's friends talking about it. They're 14 and she's having sex. I pulled her aside. I said, first of all, what we did was wrong. Second of all, telling people about it's not going to make it better.
Fuck. Today you'd get canceled for that
Oh, my
joke.
God, yeah.
You'd be in real trouble.
He'd be in real trouble.
All female comics would start Twitter threads about you.
Yes.
Expose him.
But Andy Henton, him and Ron Schock once did acid. T-Sean Shannon, you know him. He's from there too. And he told me the story about Ron Schock and Andy Henton were tripping one time. And, you know, Ron Schock was, he just was
I'm
like kind
over
of breaking it. And he goes,
can't.
and then Andy Henton goes, Ron, you're going to make it. When they first started, he goes, I know. And he was waiting for him to say it back to him, you know, because the two comedians are new. So you say it back to each other, right?
Sure.
And he goes,
Let's end on
finally
fake
Andy
laughter.
couldn't take it. He goes, I'm going to make it too, Ron. He goes, sure you are, Andy. Sure you are.
They had a great open mic night back at that Laugh Stop.